In this video, I'm going to be covering everything for you to be sourcing to sell this summer. Now, if you're also a reseller who is buying things by the pound, you are going to love this video because most of the items are lightweight and they're not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Hey, I'm Lee Meyer, and I'm the founder of Listing of Freedom and the Empowered Reseller. And I help clothing resellers make more money without hustling harder. Let's get started. All right, so summer is just around the corner, which means it's time to be getting items listed for summer. It's time to be sourcing summer items so that you can make sure to hit the ground running as summer starts. Now I've got a ton of summer items to show you. I'm going to be covering some of the brands that are related to those items, but I want to take a second to invite you to grab my free $100,000 brand list. I've made over $100,000 flipping used clothes on sites like eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. These are all the brands that I have sold and that I continue to sell that have helped me hit that $100,000 mark, and I will leave the link for this free resource in the description below this video. Now, I'm going to be trying out a little bit of a new way to show you items that are selling in the categories that we're talking about, because eBay came out with a brand new tool for resellers. You do not have to have a store subscription. This is available on your selling tab, and you're going to scroll down and click where it says product research. Now, this is amazing because you don't have to go and pull out your laptop. You don't have to go and search current items and then filter to go and see sold items. All of the sold items are available right here. And I believe that they have made 3 years of data available, which is crazy. It's all at your fingertips. Now, there's a couple other housekeeping tips before we get started, because I know some of you will be asking. Are these items also selling well on other platforms like Depop and Mercari and Poshmark and Facebook Marketplace? Yes. The other question that I know that I'm going to get asked is, do I only source summer items for the summer season? Do I only source winter items for the winter season? And the answer is no, I do not discriminate. I source all types of items all year around, and I do not hang on to them to list them. So as soon as I source, I get them listed, because Christmas items will sell in July, Halloween items will sell in February, shorts will sell in December, and I don't want to be having stuff sitting around. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in to this first item, and this is an item that is selling really well right now, and it does depend a little bit on the brand. So I'm gonna show you, these are Y2K board shorts for women. All right, so I've got all of these pulled up in that new research tool from eBay, and you're gonna notice that these are selling for $30. I do have them sorted by price because the price you will get for them, the price they're selling for, does depend on the brand. And some of the brands with the higher sale price are recognizable brands like Victoria's Secret and Roxy, anything that has a recognizable brand name. If you go with things that are not maybe so recognizable, there's a good chance that you'll probably only get a few dollars for these items. Now, there's a few different styles that I see selling. There's the short, and then there's also board shorts that have a little bit longer length, and both of these are selling well. Now, if you're interested in selling other vintage items, I'm going to be talking about more here in this video, but I also have an entire vintage clothing guide that you can check out, and I will leave a product link for you here. Now, the next item that we are going to be talking about are hats. There are a whole variety of types of hats that you can sell. Of course, you know, there's winter hats, but this video is specifically about summer. And so I've identified 3 different brands that are geared around summer types of hats. And so let's go ahead and jump on in to that first brand. All right, so this first brand is an Australian brand by the name of Helen Kaminsky, and they make a lot of raffia hats. These are for sun protection. They possibly will have UPF. Now, the prices are going to vary depending on the styles. You see there's one there for $60 and $42 and $99, but they're selling on average for around $47 in used condition. All right, so the next hat that we're gonna talk about is Panama Jack. This brand does have a lower average sale price, but it's a brand that you'll probably come across a little bit more often. And so you can see that a lot of these hats are selling in that $20 to $30 price mark. Again, these are straw hats. All right, and then this next brand is called Eric Javis, and they do have a higher average selling price. It's somewhere around $78 for used condition, and a lot of these are going to be packable. They will say that on the tag if they are. A lot of them also do have that sun protection that's perfect for selling these during the summer months. Now, hats do have some of the highest average sale prices as well as some of the highest sell-through rates out there. So if you're currently not sourcing hats for your reselling business, I'd encourage you to do that. If you need more information and even more brands to go for, I've got an entire guide for big money brands, hats edition, and you can check that out here. Now we're gonna move into the next category. We're gonna be talking about women's dresses, and I'm gonna be showing you some of the brands that are selling best this summer in summer styles. All right, so this first dress brand is Show Me Your Muumuu. This is what the tag looks like if you have not seen this before, and they're selling for right around on average $28 for their dresses. Now you're gonna notice as you look through their sold items that typically, usually, not always the case, but typically those longer dresses, those maxi dresses will tend to sell for more money than their shorter dresses. That's just a general rule, but something to keep in mind while you're sourcing Show Me Your Muumuu items. All right, so this next dress brand is really interesting because you're gonna notice that as we look through sold prices, that the prices are going to be all over the place. So you see there's one there for $25, one for $40, and then you see $1.99, $48.99. Okay, so what is going on? Now with this brand, it does have a high average sale price. However, the sell-through rate on it is low. And so I actually went into some of these that there's another one there that sold for $2.99. I went in for some of those that are selling for that, $1 or $2 to see, hey, what's going on with these. And so what can happen, and this is a perfect example for a brand like this, where there's a high average sale price, but the demand just isn't there. This can create a really unique sourcing opportunity where sellers who maybe don't understand demand will put their items on auction, and then that item will end up only selling for whatever that starting bid was. And this can create a perfect sourcing opportunity for anybody who's looking at being able to source items online like this. All right, so this next brand, now this brand is good for dresses as well as other types of items, but we're specifically talking about dresses in this video because they are an item that does sell really well for this summer. And this is J. McLaughlin. And you can see that a lot of these dresses are selling for around that $30 to $40 mark. So these are just a few of the brands when it comes to women's dresses. If you're interested in women's brands, I actually go in depth to well over 100 brands inside of my Big Money Brands Women's Guide. And that will give you all of the done for you research as far as those sell-through rates and average sale prices. So we're gonna head on over to the shoe department. This is another category that I love because the sell-through rate for shoes does tend to be high like it does for hats, and they're also tend to sell for a higher average sale price than just say your average tank top or pair of shorts. Now, if you're a reseller who is paying by the pound, i.e. you're shopping the Goodwill Outlets, the bins, you're gonna love these items, these shoe items for summer because they do not weigh a whole lot. Summer items, for example, sandals, don't weigh usually much more than a pound, so you should be able to pick these items up for just $1 or $2. All right, so this first shoe brand that we're gonna talk about are Crocs. Now they don't necessarily make, only sandals. They do make those famous slip-ons that a lot of people wear. And the resale on these does tend to be right around the $20 mark. It can be a little bit higher, like that Nightmare Before Christmas pair there that sold for $40. But a lot of these are selling for around that $20. There's another one there for $35. but Crocs can make a really good thing to flip if you can pick them up cheaply enough. All right, so this next brand is Keen. Now, one of the problems with this research tool is that I do have to filter by category. So I did go with men's Keen shoes, but women's Keen shoes also sell well. So it doesn't mean to say just because I'm showing men's that you shouldn't pick up women's, but you can see some of the prices here. They tend to sell for right around that $30 mark, some a little bit less, some a little bit more. Then another similar brand that you should be on the lookout for this summer are Chacos. They do, again, make both men's and women's items, but I did choose to show you the women's category here because I had to, either pick one or the other. There's not a way to look at them both inside of this new product research tool that eBay has given us. Now, these are selling for a little bit less, right around that $25 mark, but it is a brand that you should be able to come across, relatively often. And like with a lot of these categories, if you're interested in learning more about the brands to sell when it comes to shoes, I have over 100 brands for you that are selling for $20 on average and higher. And let's go ahead and move on over to swimwear because this video would not be complete talking about summer items without talking about swimwear. All right, so we're gonna hit on a few men's swimwear brands to be on the lookout for. All right, so first up is Chubbies. Now Chubbies makes super colorful, super brightly patterned men's swimming trunks, and they're selling for right around $20, depending if they're a little bit more unique designs, those are going to sell for more. And so keep your eye out for this brand. Now, this next brand is a luxury brand, and they do make other items besides just swimwear, but you can see some of the prices that these swimming trunks are selling for. They're $64, $90, $41. So you're definitely going to want to be able to spot that tag if you do come across these items. There's another one for $63 and then $139. So definitely keep your eye out for this one. All right, so this is another one that I have no clue how to say the name, Weilbrequin. I'm going to attempt. And these prices are on the higher side. So this is one $45, $30, $60, $50. And you're gonna see prices kind of all over the place, but it does really depend on those patterns. Like those black swimming shorts there, they're just solid black. Those only sold for $14, but there's other ones that are selling for substantially more depending on that design. All right, so there's lots of options when sourcing men's swimming trunks or swimming shorts. And so this is another one that I wanted to show you. I couldn't leave this one out. It's Birdwell Beach Breeches. And these sell for around that $30 to $40 mark for most of their items. And they do sell really well and pretty quickly. So that should give you a few ideas of brands to look for when it comes to men's swimwear. Well, what about women's swimwear? Here are 3 brands to be on the lookout for as far as women's swimwear goes. All right, so this first one is one of my favorite because I come across it relatively often. It's not, once in a blue moon type of find. And this is the brand Miracle Suit. These sell for on average around $30, some for quite a bit more. So there's one there that sold for $60. There's going to be some that sold for a little bit less. But what really does well with these are bigger sizes, and you want to make sure that your pictures are spot on with these and not just kind of thrown on the floor. If you have a mannequin, that can really help. So there's, you can see the prices in there. There's one that sold for $45. There's another one that sold for $60. So definitely keep an eye out for those bigger sizes and make sure that your pictures are really, really good so that you can maximize your profits. All right, this next one is a very common brand, very recognizable name in the swimming world, and this is Speedo. It does sell for a little bit less, so around the $16 mark on average, but there's gonna be some that sell for more. There's actually one here that sold for $437 because of its unique design. Looks like it's metallic. But you're not normally going to get that much for them. But you should be able to get somewhere between, say, 10 and 20 or maybe a little bit more in some cases, again, depending on the size. All right, this is another one that's really common to come across, a really abundant brand, and this is Land's End. It might be easy to overlook, but depending on the size, again, those bigger sizes, bigger cup sizes when you're looking at women's swimsuits, those will typically sell for a little more money, and you should be able to get maybe $20 or upwards for Land's End women's swimwear for those bigger sizes. So I've got a couple more summer categories to share with you. I am saving the best for last, so make sure that you stick around for that. But it would not be a summer video without talking about shorts. So let's take a peek at some of those brands that are selling best in the women's shorts category. All right, so this next brand is Mother. This is one that I don't come across quite so often, but you're definitely going to want to be able to grab this when you can. The tag can be a little bit hard to read in some cases, but you can see the prices that these are selling for. They're selling for on average $35, but there's gonna be ones that are selling for, a little bit on the higher side of that. There's a pair for $65. There's another one that sold for $46. And then there's another one there that sold for $50. All right, this next one is a brand that tends to be underrated. The average sale price you can see there is $10, $11-ish. But this is American Eagle, but you really want to be careful with this brand depending on what it is that you source. So there's some lots there. I tried to weed out as many with the minus lots in the search, but get past those and you can see that there are women's shorts that are selling for $35. There's some more women's shorts that are selling for $34, $32, $30. And so what you want to be on the lookout for with this, with American Eagle in particular, is their newer items. They will have the manufacturer dates on the tags, but you'll also want to be on the lookout for items that are a little bit more unusual. All right, so this is another one that a lot of resellers miss. We talked about American Eagle women's, but this is American Eagle men's. And again, that average sale price, ignore that, it's $14, but you wanna be on the lookout for particular items with this brand. And for summer items, these cargo shorts are selling really well. You can see the prices there. Those are $60. If I come across these, I will snatch these up fast, but there's not really a fight because other resellers don't seem to be picking them up. They are probably one of the heaviest items that we're going over today in this video, but they're definitely worth it. Even if you're paying by the pound, even if you have to pay $3 or $4, to be able to make $35 or $60. I come across these really often and I love them because they sell really fast. Almost as soon as I list, they're sold. All right, so I hope you are enjoying this video. I've saved the best, my favorite one for last, because to me, it's a little bit surprising how much these items are selling for. A lot of resellers are passing by these items because they don't look like a whole lot of anything, but I wanna help you not leave money on the table. So let's take a look at what these items are selling for. All right, so this is women's Y2K tank tops, and you can see there that the average sale price across all brands is almost $20. And there's a tank top there sold for $28. A lot of these are going to have spaghetti straps. That was really big around Y2K. There's one there that sold for $38. And again, a lot of these are not going to depend on what the brand is as far as how much you can get for the item. It's really more about the look of that item. There's one there that sold for $34 and you're gonna notice that they use the keyword corset. That corset style is really popular as well, so doubling that up with the Y2K is gonna help. And again, go for the look. Don't necessarily go just for the brand with these tank tops. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know what you think of the new format and hope to catch you in the next video soon. See ya.